r/AskReddit. To any redditor whose wife/significant other had a baby that clearly wasn't yours, what's your story?
Jay, you are not the father.
I'm the result of this. Family totally fucked up. Had a brother who passed of an illness when he was 7 and I was 10. No, I'm sorry please. I honestly barely remember him. He was always sickly and we never really had a normal sibling relationship. I feel like I functionally grew up an only child. Both parents white. Mom, sandy blonde hair, pale skin, bluish eyes. Dad, dark curly hair, medium skin tone, brown eyes. Bro looked like dad and I look like mom. So my parents divorced when I'm 12. They had one of those informal let's just see if we can work things out talks to see if they needed an actual hearing. For whatever reason, I was there. I thought it was awesome at the time and felt so mature, but who TF let a 12 years old in on this? So they are trying to hash out child support. Mom looks at dad and says, I just want you out of my life, Mel. I don't need or want anything from you. She isn't yours. Needle off the record. Cue paternity test. Turns out she was right. I wasn't his. He called her a whore and me a bastard and that was that. I had no dad anymore. Not that he was much of a one in the first place. So who's my father? I have one strong suspicion. She had a male friend who would come over and draw with me and play ball with me and stuff like that. He was Italian, so dark hair and olive skin, which I most definitely am not. But his youngest son is blonde and light-eyed, like me. I looked him up last year and was gonna say something like, look, whatever happened I don't care. I just want my medical history. Turned out, he died 2 years ago. I thought about contacting one of his sons, but that seems like bad form. His adult kids don't need to be mixed up in the possible product of his dad's affair. So this is a little different, but a friend of mine came out black. Both parents were white. As you can imagine, it was more than a little concerning for dad. He accused mom of cheating, and it turned into a big fight when she insisted she had not. Paternity test ensued showing that he was the father. Upon further investigation they found out that she had a black great-grandfather or something, and it waited a generation or two to be expressed. So kind of the opposite of your question but related. Awkward. I'm now in my 50s. Back in my 20s, I was really desperate and dated a woman who was about 12 years older. About 9 months into our relationship, I go away to another state for a weekend trip. Come back and found out that she had given birth to a child. I was perplexed because she didn't seem pregnant and no one around us knew she was pregnant. She even said that she didn't know that she was pregnant. I'm black, the woman was white and the kid was powder white. But I do have white in my family. I didn't believe the kid was mine because 1. I would have had to impregnate her in the first month. Possible, but I don't remember ejaculating. 2. She looks nothing like me and 3. She's too light to have my genes. My mom convinces me that this has to be my kid because the woman says it is and that I have mixed background. I want to believe it because not believing it means some other guy is the dad. But my rational side says there is no way she's mine. So we move in and eventually get married. The relationship doesn't last and we separate. I decide that I have to find out the truth. Even though I know it, I get some money together and get a DNA test. Sure enough, I'm 99% excluded. I show the results to the mother and she says I'm wrong and the test is wrong and that I just don't want to be a dad. I tell her that I do, but I'm done paying child support. However, I give her the option to pay for another DNA test or go through the courts. She declined. I have a friend from Sudan. Hooked up with a white girl at a college party. Just a one night stand. Until 9+ months later she tracked him down for a paternity test. She was living with her white boyfriend and his parents. They threw her a shower, built a nursery, were at the delivery, and in true sitcom-esque fashion she didn't give any indication it wasn't his until her little fro popped out of her. My Sudanese friend and his current wife have primary custody of the lovely 10 years old girl, and one of their own. Birth mom continues to make poor choices. Was in a long distance relationship with a girl in college. After going 2 months without a period, she took a pregnancy test which turned up positive. After informing me, I had to keep myself from panicking. I hate kids and didn't work during college to avoid burning out. While she refused an abortion, she agreed to adopt out the baby when it was born. A week goes by and I get a massive wall of text from her in Skype that basically boils down to "I'm leaving you. The kid is not yours as my ex, and I had a ton of unprotected sex, and the doctor confirmed that the date of conception isn't when you and I were together. I'm not sure why you didn't realize this already, but I'm sorry for everything." It's a weird mix of feelings to both go "yeah, I'm not a dad" and "OMG, the girl I intended on marrying is pregnant with her ex's kid." Edit. It seems a few people are confused about the timescale. We dated for about 8 months. Her last period was around the 6-month mark. I had intended on marrying her, but had yet to actually propose, was planning to on our 1-year anniversary. I'm not sure why you didn't realize this already. Jesus Christ, I hate when people say shit like that. It's just trying to make you feel bad for the shit they did themselves. Fucking manipulative. I wish I could have my husband answer. I was a surrogate, so he knew about the entire thing before I was even pregnant. He had never seen a baby born before and said it was life-changing. Baby clearly was not ours. Not nearly as dramatic as other responses, I'm sure. I'm a surrogate ×2. One of our favorite things to do it to be out as a couple while I'm visibly pregnant, so when people say congrats he can say, "It's not mine." Then I usually follow up with, "It's not mine either." Opposite of this, my significant other's ex-wife is black. He is white. When their son was born, he was quite pale, blonde, and has green eyes. Obviously there was no cheating. My significant other's German genes are just strong as fuck. He told me the doctor made a comment to the effect of, "Oh, he's really white," about the baby. Significant other's ex shot angry eyes. Doc muttered an apology. His son turns 5 tomorrow. Still super white, blonde, and green-eyed. Only giveaway is his nose and the curls. He's a gorgeous, sweet little kid and I love him. Edit. Yes, I'm aware my significant other's genes aren't actually strong AF. I'm aware of recessive genes. Genes don't battle each other to show up in offspring. It's just sort of a running joke we have, because it's easy to think of genetics as a battle royale, especially when they show up in unexpected ways, even though that's obviously not how it works. But thank you for providing clarification to those more ignorant due to my poor choice of words. It is appreciated. Sincerely. Many years ago, I got a Subway sandwich and found the girl behind the counter was incredibly flirty with me. Later, it was if she wanted to hurry up and do the thing. We did. I pulled out. At a later date, soon after, she gave me a condom to use, so I didn't have to pull out. How ironic that it magically broke while I was in her. Days later she tells me she's pregnant. I stuck it out until when she was supposed to be 3 months pregnant, but looked 5 to 6 months. Then surprisingly, not, she was having a premature delivery. The kid that came out was completely done cooking. Full head of hair, able to lift his head to look around with eyes wide open. She still stuck to her story that it was mine. We took a blood test and it wasn't mine. That woman knew what she was doing. Bitch tried to ruin my life. Not mine but work story. 9/11 call for labor. Very upper class neighborhood. Token sorority girl now 25ish. Husband is very excited. Wants to ride with her to hospital. He sits in front. Policy. 2 medics in back with tailboard from the engine driving. Wife delivers on the way. Black baby. Medic ask in the most professional way they could if this was expected, trying to judge what they were in for at the hospital with the husband. Wife burst into tears. Medic radios ahead to ER with code for PD assist. They said you could feel the guy driving let off the gas when he heard it. Dad still super excited. One guy was positioned to where he couldn't see to the back. Arrive at ER. They try and hurry the husband to the entrance before mom and baby were brought out. Didn't quite get dad inside. He knows something is up, and I'm sure worried about mom/baby health. At some point he comes back toward the stretcher moving toward the ER in trance. Catches sight of the baby and absolutely loses his shit. They said he used all the regular insults and a few words that they're pretty sure he made up. Before PD got control of him, he threw both his shoes at her. Said you could see either spit or tears spraying out from under the lights. Feel bad for the guy.